You were born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio,
Yes.
on the West End,
Yes.
which is where a whole lot of people started.
Yes, ma'am.
They did. And you were a graduate of Taft High School in Cincinnati, Ohio,
Yes.
which at that time was a black school.
Yes.
You went on to serve in the military,
Yes.
so you went into the Coast Guard, and then from there, where'd you go?
For about, I guess, 2 years, I didn't do anything, and when I turned 21, I applied for the police department and was accepted by the time I was 22.
So you went to serve as a police officer with the Cincinnati Police Department
Yes, ma'am.
when you were 22?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hudson, there couldn't have been but a few black people on the police department.
Well, at that time, they had a big recruitment for people of color.
Okay.
And my class, prior to my class, over the years, if they hired a black, he was the only one in the class.
One.
That's the way it was.
Okay. Any women? No.
No, no. In my class, we had, I think, 28 or 29 blacks.
In your class, out of a total class population of?
76, I think it was. 76.
Well, that's about what, 30%?
Yes.
That's pretty respectable.
But they was trying to get government money. That's what that was about.
Ah, government money. I thought I heard something.
Yeah.
Okay, so they did this reach out. They brought in a large number of African American men who became cadets. Is that the way that works?
Well, they became recruits. There's a difference
Okay.
between cadet and recruit.
Okay.
Cadets start at let's say 17 when they get out of high school, 18 years old, and they have a program at UC
Oh, really?
where they take classes in what is it? They end up with an associate's degree in police science.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And the recruit does a similar job description as a cadet?
Well, a recruit goes to school, period, for about 3 months.
Police?
Yes.
You were a recruit,
Yes, ma'am.
not a cadet.
Not a cadet.
Was the treatment different? Since
Yes.
you came up under this quote, push for black police officers.
Well, it was during a time when racism was out there. I mean, they looked at that class as a joke, really. You know, the police officers that was on there because it was a good old boy system. People from the West Side basically controlled the police department, and
You're talking about like Western Hills and Edgar?
right, their families, yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't about having blacks on the police department. It was totally different than it is now. I mean, it's better now from what I understand.
Okay. So you came in as a recruit. What was your area of specialization?
I was stationed in District 1.
Where is that at?
310 Ezra Charles.
Okay, so you were downtown.
Right. And what happened was there was a young girl, I think she was about maybe 9 or 10 years old, that came up missing.
In your district?
Yes.
Okay.
And she had some mental issues.
Okay.
And the mother didn't have a picture of her.
The mother did not have a picture of the
Right.
child.
Right. And I think it was somebody within the police department, mentioned the fact how I used to sit in class and draw the teachers. And they asked me, could I draw a composite possibly of this young girl so they could put it out, which I did.
Okay.
And
How do you feel about that?
well, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I
Okay.
enjoyed it. I enjoyed
Okay.
doing it. And I was able to get a composite out. Unfortunately, the young lady was found dead
Oh.
in a building on Vine and Finley.
Okay, I
Yeah.
know where that is.
Yeah, Finley and Vine, yeah.
Okay.
But that's where it started, as far as the drawing is concerned.
So let me just kind of summarize. You got involved as a recruit. How did they know you knew how to draw?
Well, I used to sit in class
And doodle?
and doodle, yes.
Oh, my goodness.
I would
I'm
draw.
sure they like that.
Yes, I draw the teachers, the commanders that come in, and they made mention of it somehow. The word got out.
Okay. So as a result of your innate talent, did you become a specialist in that type of thing?
Well, yes, I did draw,
Okay.
but being a police specialist is a tested position.
Translate for those of us that don't know what that is.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Within the police department, within Cincinnati's police department, you have police officer. Well, you have recruit police officer once he graduates, and then from police officer, you have a position that they no longer have now called specialist.
Okay.
And then from specialist, which is it's the old detective badge, and from that you went to sergeant, lieutenant, captain, and all up
Okay.
the ranks. And as a specialist, you could work uniform or non-uniform. And the best part about it was you received 8% more money.
Oh, okay, per, as
No.
you went up the hierarchy or just 8%?
You receive 8% more money than a police officer.
Really?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound bad.
No, it wasn't. And it was a good position. But before I made specialist, I was drawing already.
Okay.
Yes. I
So
was doing composites.
So you moved up the food chain and became a specialist in a very, very limited market. I can't believe they had all kinds of people that did what you did.
No, on Cincinnati's police department, there was about maybe 60 positions out of at that time it was a 1,000-man force.
Okay.
It's down now, but it used to have 1,000 police officers. And I think at that time they may have had anywhere between 60 and maybe 100 that were specialists.
Okay, out of the 1,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And historically, once a police officer made specialist, there was no desire to go further.
That was it.
That was it. Never want to go any further. No, don't want to be no sergeant. Don't want to be no lieutenant.
Because of the compensation?
No, because it's a better job.
Does it pay more?
8% more than the police officer.
Okay.
And you can do the same job.
And you could do the same job?
Yes.
Okay, so is that what you did?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that makes sense. You gotta know, I'm the money lady. I'm always counting dollars and looking at why.
I understand.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. So you became a specialist, you got your 8%, you were able to do your passion, which is sketching,
Yes, ma'am.
and this is what you did for how long?
Well, until around let's see, it had to be 1977.
1977?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
At that time, I committed what's known as political suicide.
Oh, you're a bad guy.
Not necessarily a bad guy.
Okay, no, I wasn't saying that to be mean. So what is your definition of political suicide?
Well, what happened is I had worked for a guy in District 3, a
Now,
lieutenant,
District 3 is
on Warsaw,
Warsaw.
on the west
Okay,
side.
on the west side,
Yes.
okay, okay.
And because of my drawing, there was an incident that occurred in Hyde Park where a house had been robbed, and the people that were robbed were tied up, and stuff was stolen.
Okay.
They broke in the safe, and the rumor is that this older couple in Hyde Park, were actually connected to the mafia.
Okay.
And there was 3 guys that came in there and robbed them. Anyway, they contacted me. I was at work, and I was given a directive to respond to the address in Hyde Park
Okay.
and do a drawing, which I followed orders. I did. I went, did the drawings. And what happened, though, is they have a thing called crossovers. Like if
Okay.
one district has to go to another district to make a run, it kind of looks bad for the district that couldn't make the run.
Right.
So this lieutenant that I worked for, he was upset about it.
Upset about you going to another district?
Right. And
Did
somebody
they
else,
have
making my runs in the district that I was assigned to.
However, help me to understand this. You were mandated to go to this
Yes.
other location.
Yes. Oh, I
By
didn't.
your boss?
Right. I didn't get in any trouble.
Okay, you didn't get in any
No,
trouble.
I didn't get in
Okay.
trouble.
Okay,
So
this
what
is
it was-
going good.
What it turned out to be was a policy needed to be set.
Okay,
So what this lieutenant did was he contacted the chief, who was at the time Leisler, contacted him, and he basically wrote a policy. And the policy basically stated, if an incident occurs in the district that I'm working in, it's okay for me to do it,
okay, if it's in that district.
if it's in that district.
Okay,
If
but,
it occurs in another district
okay,
and I'm working, then they have the option to send someone over to my beat and run my beat while I go there,
that makes sense.
or it would have to be done either before I came to work or after I got off.
So with this in mind, because of the policy change, and you were not out of order because there was no policy in
Right.
place.
Right.
So how did it turn out to be a political mayhem?
I came to work one day.
Yeah,
I was given a sticker note. This is when I was in District 5.
and where is that at?
That was on Ludlow.
Okay, Ludlow,
10,
Clifton.
12, yeah,
Clifton.
10,
okay.
12 Ludlow.
Okay,
And I was given a sticker, a little piece of paper. It says, respond to District 3 for a composite. So basically what happened was I got a little piece of paper that said, respond to District 3 to do a composite. And when I saw it, being made aware of what the policy was,
right,
I says, I can't do it like that. So I called over there and I spoke to, matter of fact, the same lieutenant that initiated the policy. And I told him, I said, sir, I can't come over there unless you have someone that can come over here.
right, to
No
back
one.
you up.
And he says, no, that's not the situation. They can't do it. The person has to come here. It was some reason why he couldn't send somebody to District 5. And I told him, I said, well, the other option, sir, would be, to have them come in after I get off of work,
Right.
or tomorrow morning.
Right.
I can meet him and do the composite.
Right.
So he got pissed off and he hung up on me.
Your boss hung up on you.
Well, he wasn't my direct boss at that time. He was a boss in District 3. I was in 5.
Okay, right.
So I went on out on my beat, I was running Winton Terrace. And I got what's known as a signal 2 to return to the district.
Okay,
And when I got back to the district, my current lieutenant, a gentleman by the name of Hayden Thompson, he pulled me to the side. He says, what did you do? I says, what do you mean, what did I do? He says, Captain Morgan said that you went against his directive. He says, I don't know what you're talking about. So he says, come on. So he took me upstairs to the captain's office.
okay,
And we both walked in the captain's office, and the first thing that the captain did was put the lieutenant out. And when he put him out, he closed the door and he says, who do you think you are?
he said this to you?
Yes, yes,
Without your superior being there?
right.
This is not sounding good.
Oh, it wasn't. It
Don.
wasn't. It wasn't good. He says, "Who do you think you are?" I said, "What's the problem?" He says, "I give you a directive to do something, and then you're gonna call up and say you can't do it." He says, "From now on," he says, "you're no longer on the robbery task force." He says, "and you're no longer going to do composites." I says, "Well," I says, "if you want to take me off the robbery task force, that's fine. I don't care. I say, but why hurt the police department?
Right,
It's a
right.
tool that we've been effective with, and it's worked." He says, "I don't care. And at that point, I stopped drawing for the police department.
How did you feel?
Well, I felt okay. I just felt that it was a tool that
I mean, how did you really feel? Let's not be. Let's
I'm
not be-
serious.
I mean, it didn't bother you?
Oh yeah, as far as him talking to me the way he did, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
demeaning.
Yeah.
Isn't that degrading?
Yes.
You followed protocol, and you were still,
And he understood that.
and he knew that.
Yes.
Because he wouldn't have been where he was if he didn't.
Yes, he understood. But like
But
I
you were a
said,
black man.
and I think he would have reacted the same way no matter what color the person was
Really?
in that situation.
Okay.
Because it was someone who did something other than what he had told him to do.
Right.
But his name was never on that little piece of paper. It was just a little piece of paper that said, "Go to District 3, do a composite."
But I'm telling you, it doesn't smell right.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Did you resign?
No,
You didn't resign.
no.
You just didn't do composites.
Yes.
And you went on,
I went on, became specialist
okay.
in my position, and became a domestic violence investigator. And
You are a domestic violence investigator?
yes, ma'am.
Whoa, now
And-
I'm into that.
That was part of it. And crime scene, major crime scene investigator. In other words, if something occurred at night on third shift, a major crime, I was dispatched, and I would dust footprints, take photographs, whatever it called for, I would be there to do that.
Well, this is what I want to do. I want to show our viewers some of your work. So can I please, camera people, can I have, because we've got to wrap up on this particular interview, but I must share your work, because viewers, this man is incredible. Can I get a close-up on that? Did you get that? Good, I'm going to show some more. This is so amazing. His gifting and his talents. Do you do commission work as well
Yes,
now?
yes.
Okay, good. Okay, and I'm going to show, this is a lovely one as well. Can you see this one? I like this one. This is dealing with feet. And this is an individual that was interviewed earlier. He's incredible. This one, you gave me a copy, and my daughter is in love with it. So, I'm graced to have you here today.
It's great to be here.
You shared with me openly. I can only say that the best is coming for you, and hopefully you can look back at what happened to you as a good learning experience.
Oh, yes, yes.
But you're going to be fine, Mr. Hudson. Shake my hand. You're
Yes,
a
ma'am.
great man.
Well, thank you. Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much.
much. You
All
take
right.
care. All
Bye-bye.
right.